What is going on? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Binkz and Doodle Effect. I am one of your hosts, Binkz, and as always, I am always accompanied by my good friend over here, Mr. DrewskiDoodle. How are you this week, Mr. DrewskiDoodle?
I've had better weeks. How about you?
I know you've had better weeks. More on that, though. Mr. DrewskiDoodle is a huge Dallas Star fan who, unfortunately, the Dallas Stars did not end up winning the Cup. They did not end up pushing a Game 7, which I was very much rooting for. I definitely wanted to see a Game 7, but we'll definitely touch on that going forward. Before we start today's episode, I'm just going to bring you a word from our weekly sponsor, and this week it is going to be Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy is a premium energy and focus supplement designed to optimize your mental and physical performance. Unlike healthy canned energy drinks, this powerful supplement can be taken daily for overall improved performance. With a formula packed full of vitamins and amino acids, Rogue Energy is a healthy way to increase your natural energy, sharpen your mental focus, reduce fatigue, improve alertness, increase exercise capacity, and facilitate creativity and learning. And if you use the code GETLIVID, you will get 5% off of your entire purchase. That is GETLIVID for 5% off. Go to the site, link in the description below. Buy yourself some flavors. Buy yourself a shaker cup. They're awesome. It's delicious. Rogue Energy. Get livid. Go. But moving forward, we have a few things going on with Major League Baseball. And we have the Major League Baseball playoffs starting. My favorite team, the Mets, are not in it, as you guys can see in my background. If you guys are watching on YouTube. Yep, not even close. You know how embarrassing it is to not make the playoffs this year? Literally half the National League makes the playoffs and half the American League makes the playoffs. That means we are on the bottom end of the National League. We are literally worse than half the league.
The damn Marlins made it.
And they had COVID. The Marlins played like 15 games in 15 games in like 10 days, and they made it.
It's wild. And you know, at least we didn't blow it like Philly did. Philly had to go like I think it was 2-6 in their last 8 games, and they went 1-7.
Yeah, no,
so at least they didn't have that kind of hope. And the Nationals didn't make it either, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, they had just a terrible year. I mean, go from winning the World Series to not even being last in the division. I mean, they were worse than the Mets, even though they swept us the last week. But hats off to the Marlins, man. And
we're going to get stomped on by the Cubs.
So we turn into a Cleveland Indian fan now. It's always a team I root for, so I'm rooting for them to win the World Series. I don't think it's going to be a year for the Cleveland Indians, but we can always hope. I think the Padres have a great shot. I think the Padres beat the Dodgers. Hot take.
Yeah. So, the Padres play St. Louis in round 1. Mm-hmm. Which that might be a sweep. And then you have the Dodgers playing the Brewers, and that series I don't think is going to be close either. My prediction was the Padres beat the Indians in the World Series.
I would love to. I hope that's right.
The Indians beat the Yankees.
Well, yes, I definitely want. If the Indians are going to get eliminated, I at least want them to take out the Yankees.
Yeah.
But
the Indians are they're a very complete team with their pitching.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I like them.
I hope your prediction's right in the aspect that the Indians are in the World Series, but if they are, I hope they actually win and not lose.
Yeah, of course.
But other than the playoffs, we have Alex Gordon retiring. Great player, 3-time All-Star, 7-time Gold Glove, and obviously the 2015 World Series with the Royals. Wish he didn't have that last stat, but because the Mets were in the World Series in 2015. But great career. He's gonna definitely enjoy retirement.
Yeah, I love defensive-minded baseball players, and he was the best. Mm-hmm. His glove was he was a vacuum out in outfield. It was fantastic to watch.
Yeah. How do you feel about DeGrom with the Cy Young? I don't think it happens. I know we talk about it pretty much every week.
He should not win it. The only reason I could see that they give it to him was they don't want to ruin a streak on a BS season, but he definitely shouldn't win. It should go to Trevor Bauer.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
It happens. He'll come back and be on the money next year.
I think if it was a complete game,
season, he'd be fine.
Yeah, no, I think if it's like a complete season and not just a shortened season, I think maybe DeGrom over the long haul could...
He would stay that way better than I think Bauer would have. Not to say Bauer would have sucked, but DeGrom would have just hit a groove even more than he had, where he would have given up like a run for 5 straight starts or something.
Exactly.
But he's not even the biggest story. I mean, the biggest story is Shane Bieber in the American League. He had such a ridiculous season, winning a pitching triple crown, which is the most wins, the best ERA, and the most strikeouts. Obscene, ridiculous. That's just part of the reason why I'm picking the Indians to win that series. But if the AL Cy Young doesn't go to him, then there's a problem.
It's we've never had a pitcher do the triple crown, right? Is that
we have? It's just been a very long time.
Got it. Sorry, missed that. Pretty much that is it on baseball. Other than we really don't have too much to say with that, but we go to the hockey with Tampa Bay. And Drew is going to go on suicide watch during this segment of the podcast. Tampa Bay Lightning winning the Stanley Cup in 6 games, defeating the Dallas Stars. Andrew, I don't want to make you really talk about it too much. I don't want your hard emotional, Listen,
it was a good year for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think everyone in America was rooting for a Game 7. Other than Tampa Bay fans, Tampa Bay fans were looking to end it there. But I think everyone else other than Tampa Bay fans were looking to see a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Steven Stamkos got a cup, so I can, and you got Ryan McDonough.
Yeah, you got a lot of ex-Rangers on there. So
would I have preferred to see Jamie Benn go on there? Yeah, but Tampa's window is kind of closing, and Dallas's is kind of opening, so it's okay.
Dallas is going to be a good team for future years.
100%. Once in Tampa Bay needs to win now, or they're never going to win because they're not going to be able to pay half these guys when their contracts are up.
Exactly. So they got their chip.
It was a great series, though. It was a fantastic series, even if it was only 6. So
it
was a fun hockey playoffs.
It was, and we're gonna have hockey pretty much starting next week with the draft. New York Rangers have the first overall pick. And
yeah, baby.
I'm gonna say if they don't draft him, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself.
I renounce my faith.
I don't know what I'll do with myself if the Rangers actually don't draft him. There's no other option.
Build such a powerhouse. They have this number 1 pick with this generational player. They traded Mark Stahl, freed up, and they fleeced the Detroit Red Wings because the Red Wings took all of Mark Stahl's salary. So now they have a crap ton of salary to spend. Apparently, they're going to buy out Henrik Lundqvist tomorrow, which they would have to pay him $5.5 million of his $8 million, so they'd free up another $3 million in cap space. Which, if I know, coming from football and baseball, it's not a lot. In hockey, that's a lot. And there's a lot of people that are big names on the market coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if you see an offer sheet for Matthew Barzal. I wouldn't be surprised if you see an offer for a couple defensemen. So it's going to be a hell of an offseason until the season comes back in December, which is weird, but that's when it's coming back.
Well, they definitely need to try to start getting back on track on when they would actually be starting the season and everything. So
yeah, they did say they want it to be December. They want it to be like a 40 to 50 game season. That way the 2021 season starts on time. Which
that's understandable. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. And it's not going to be a bubble like the Rangers are going to be playing. The Rangers are going to be playing in the Garden, so I can't see any fans in arenas probably until at least 2021.
Yeah, definitely not this season. You got to consider hockey season. The regular season ends in April, so I don't think we'd be in a position to have that again. 2021, I hope is more good for that.
I don't know. I missed going to a Met game. This year it's the first time in my life I've not seen the Mets live in my 27 years of life. So it's tough.
This is the longest we've ever had not going to any type of live event, whether it be hockey, baseball, or wrestling. I usually go to one a month.
I'm putting an asterisk in 2020 on my streak, though. I'm not counting it.
Yeah, you didn't have the option.
It's not like I chose not to. I literally we were banned from visiting. So there's an asterisk on 2020 on my Met streak here.
Exactly.
Mark Stahl is no longer a New York Ranger. I think when I saw that news, if I could do a backflip, I would have. I hated him. I actually hated him. I never liked him.
And it sucks that it was good news because in his prime he was so goddamn good.
Mm-hmm.
He just never came back from that injury, and it was not even like his play that made people hate him. It's just how much money his contract was taking up.
Oh no, it was his play that made me hate him.
If I would hate him a lot less. If I don't even really hate him, I hated his contract. If he was doing this for $1 million a year, that would give way less of a shit. But he was in his prime. He was fantastic. Now that he is gone, everyone should remember him as the lockdown defenseman that he was.
Yeah, I mean, I really started hating him because anytime he was on the ice, I felt like he was the slowest guy ever on the ice. He just didn't move. He didn't get to the puck. He made terrible decisions defensively, and I just felt like he was a slug. And anytime there's a goal scored, I always saw Stahl on the ice. Always.
Yeah. Once that injury happened, he was never the same.
Yeah. I couldn't wait to get rid of him.
Once he took that puck to the face.
Yeah, definitely happy he's gone, but best of luck to him.
They had to do it. We need to free up the cap space, and the Rangers have a logjam of defensemen in the farm system, so it had to happen.
Yeah, no, I love the move. But moving forward with the NFL, we have a lot to talk about with that. Starting off with something that has been news now for a week, kind of happened right after we recorded last week's podcast, but we're going to touch on it now. Tyrod Taylor, his doctor punctured his lung by trying to admit painkillers. That man lost his job. There's no way that doctor is still on the team.
I genuinely have no comment. I don't know.
I just you're a doctor. I feel like that's like something you really should be confident in doing, and not puncturing the guy's lung.
Can we just insert the meme of Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story 2? I don't believe that man has ever been to medical school.
I love that. Oh my god, I gotta remember that now when I'm editing.
I don't. I don't have a comment because I don't have a comment. It's just so dumb.
Speaking of dumb though, we have the Bills game, their final drive. Bills are, threatening to score, and we have a pass interference on 4th down. That would have ended the game. I set the bar high. Listen, I know me and you talk during football. I disagree with probably 99% of the roughing the passer calls. And Andrew's shaking his head. Andrew, I think Andrew said in text that the quarterback would have to be decapitated for me even to consider roughing the passer. Little extreme, obviously, but
of course
I do disagree with a lot of roughing the passer calls, and I also disagree with a lot of pass interference calls. And I usually think that pass interference is called too easily, and that was definitely the case in the Bills game.
There's been way too many bad PI calls.
Mm-hmm.
Been way too many.
Referees deciding
games. In the Cowboys game, it seems there's been one a week, I think, so far. There was one in week 2. I just forgot who it was. There's been awful either PI or OPI calls, and they really gotta stop.
It's terrible. The Bills should not be 3-0. They lost that game.
Yeah, it was a wild call, and I don't get it. But you gotta think what's up with these referees. It seems to be a common theme amongst a lot of sports right now where their referees just suck. Whether it be a referee or an umpire, they're just bad. So congratulations to the Bills. That was gift wrapped.
Mm-hmm. The Patriots are still right on them, man. Patriots are right there. They're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
But Trubisky getting benched.
Love it.
I think
Absolutely love it.
I think Foles should have been the starter. I can't believe that it took them this long to even just bench him. Trubisky's a terrible quarterback.
He's awful.
He's awful.
And I was so big during the offseason on Allen Robinson for fantasy, and he did awful so far. And then the second they put Nick Foles in, he pops because someone can throw him the ball.
I think Nick Foles should be the starter going forward. I'm unsure if they actually named him. I think they did.
For this week,
they're going forward with Nick Foles. Yeah, I think he's going to turn the Bills around. I mean, the Bills. I'm sorry, the Bears around. The Bears were 2-0, and that was a very deceiving 2-0 because that's not. You can't look at the Bears and be like, oh, 2-0, they're going to be good this year. And like, no, let's call a spade here. The Bears still kind of suck. That is a very deceiving 2-0, and other quarterbacks that are terrible. Sorry, Philly fans, because he's like you guys worship him and kiss his feet. But Wentz, he needs to go too for you guys.
He's garbage.
Wentz is garbage. He had a good year the Super Bowl year when he got hurt. That was like his only good year ever, and since then he has just been garbage. He just doesn't look good in the pocket. He doesn't look good when he's throwing. He misses easy passes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
if he gets any type of pressure on him, he just like loses full.
And you talk to a Philadelphia fan, and they just worship him at the feet, and I just don't see what they see. And I personally think the Eagles need to draft a quarterback. I mean, if the Eagles end up going 15-1 because they just tied, and they have an opportunity to get Trevor Lawrence, they gotta draft him. They gotta realize at that point that like Wentz is not it. Just like I gotta hope that the Jets, if they go 0-16, that they know that Darnold isn't it. Like you gotta move on. Like people say, you need wide receivers, and granted, what does Wentz have? You know,
right now nobody.
And Darnold really doesn't have anyone either. But I mean, but you look at both quarterbacks and how they are mechanically, and you watch them actually play in the pocket and what they're doing with the ball and their decisions. It's just not good. I mean, look, Darnold right off the first drive, pick 6. I mean, he threw 3 touchdowns. 2 of them were to the other team.
Yeah.
And it's...
a lot of teams in trouble with their quarterbacks.
Exactly.
A lot of teams not in trouble with their quarterbacks.
Yeah. Teams in general in trouble, the Falcons. First of all, the head coach. His name is beside me right now. Slips my mind. How he is still employed is just beyond me. I mean, first of all, he should have been fired after the Super Bowl blow.
Dan Quinn,
thank you. Dan Quinn should have been fired after he blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. And
I don't understand how he has a job or the defensive coordinator has a job.
Dude, they just can't complete a game. You know how
their OC, fantastic, great job. Everybody else sucks.
If I'm a betting man, and if the NFL was a 3-quarter game, I'm betting the Falcons 10 out of 10 times because they are the best. They are one of the best first 3-quarter teams in the league. And for some reason, that fourth quarter, it's just like they look like the Jets. They just can't. They don't stop a nosebleed. They stop on offense. It's unreal, and I feel so bad for people like Matt Ryan and like Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is having a year. I don't even care if Julio Jones is on the other side of the field. Calvin Ridley is the number 1 on that team. Mm-hmm. Calvin Ridley is having a year.
They should be a serious threat, and they're not.
They should legitimately be 2-1. Like they're 0-3, and like I said, the Bears being 2-0 is a deceiving 2-0. That 0-3 is a very deceiving 0-3 because they are not. Yeah. They are not an 0-3 bad team. If they could just figure out how to play in the fourth quarter, that's a dangerous team.
Yeah, exactly. And now they're 0-3, they're done. They cannot make the playoffs with the division they're in. They have the Bucs and the Saints in that division, so they're done. They're not making the playoffs.
They can still get the 6th seed, but
even
it'd be very difficult.
Yeah, they're to me their season's over after 3 weeks.
See, I'm gonna play devil's advocate just because I still think that the Bucs go 9-7, and if for some reason the Falcons could turn it around and get 10 wins, if they can go 10-3 for the remainder of the season, I think they have a shot.
That is quite the ballsy prediction there, my friend.
If they can go at least 10-6, so 10-3 for the rest of the season, I think the Bucs only go 9-7. So the Bucs really aren't a threat yet, in my book. However, we will definitely see where that heads. I'm a big guy on these hot takes, and I know I get called crazy for it a lot. But
I do just want to say the Falcons still have to play Green Bay, the Saints twice, the Bucks twice, and the Chiefs.
Okay, so I'm thinking 4 losses there. So
okay, yeah. Well, we'll see what that. We'll see what happens.
So we'll see, because I think they beat the Bucks.
We'll see what happens.
I like the Falcons against the Bucks, but we'll see. Going forward, if you want to talk about stupidity in Week 3, what comes to mind?
Do you want me to label one thing?
I'm thinking wide receiver.
Don't make me say it, but hey, DK. What are you doing, bud?
He looked like Deshaun Jackson out there.
You know what? It's what is he, a sophomore now? A sophomore player. I'll still call him a rookie. We're only 3 games into the second season. Doing a rookie thing. He'll never do it again.
Oh, I hope Carroll took him by the helmet. And
I'm sure he did.
At him.
I am sure he did. I think, and then he really didn't get targeted after that. So I think, he definitely should have learned his lesson. I'm sure Russell Wilson talked to him. I'm sure Pete Carroll talked to him, and it won't happen again. Never, ever again. You'll see him hustling his ass off.
Yep. How many times has Deshaun Jackson done that to himself? I mean, Deshaun Jackson was the dumbest wide receivers I've ever seen play the game, and he was great in his prime, but he never learned his lesson. So I gotta hope that DK Metcalf is a little bit more smarter than Deshaun Jackson.
I would imagine, especially in the system he's in, a very, very smart offense. They'll whip him into shape. He'll be fine.
You gotta hope, man. I like
him.
I like him as a player.
The game.
No, and he did redeem himself with another touchdown late in the game. But the fact of the matter is, he should have never had to redeem himself.
It almost did cost him the game. It was a 1 possession game.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing they were on the winning side.
Exactly. We have the Chiefs probably being the most dominant football team in the league. Chiefs Seahawks is looking like a very good Super Bowl. If we had to say right now, Chiefs Seahawks would be ridiculous. That would be so entertaining.
If Seahawks defense gets healthy again, man, that
would be a great game.
That is the reason I'm not fighting you on the Chiefs being the best team in football, because of the current state of the Seahawks defense.
Even if the Seahawks
have the edge in the defense.
Even if the Seahawks defense is healthy, I think the Chiefs is still the better team.
If both teams are fully healthy and they played, I personally give the Seahawks a very slight edge. Okay. Only in the tools that Wilson has.
I respect that.
The Chiefs have great tools, but they don't have the combo of Lockett, Metcalf, and whoever the Greg Olsen and the other Will Dissly, and Chris Carson. Those weapons are nutty. So, but that would be a sick Super Bowl.
Well, you also got to think then the Chiefs. I mean, they might not have those big names, but I mean, the Chiefs have on both ends of the field probably the 2 fastest wide receivers in the game.
Yeah,
you have Hardman, and you have Hill, the cheetah. And you know what? Edwards-Helaire, he's not bad.
Nice.
He's not bad.
He's nice.
And listen, nice. Patrick Mahomes, you never know where he's going to go with the football. You never know what he's going to do. The amount of trickery the Chiefs do. Yeah. I respect what you just said, though. I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from. I think it would be a fantastic
hope that's our
Super Bowl. I would sign me up for that Super Bowl right now. Chiefs, Seahawks. That would be fantastic.
That'd be fantastic.
Hopefully we get to the Super Bowl, though, because now we are starting to get cases of COVID. The Titans have reported 3 players and 5 personnel testing positive. Hope all that's okay. I'm hoping it's like a false positive. And
hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully, but like the NFL isn't in a bubble. They're able to do their own thing. Honestly, out of all the sports, hockey is the only thing that did it right. Hockey never had any positive case.
They did it perfect.
But you also got to think hockey players are also a completely different breed than baseball and NFL players. You have baseball players and football players who are absolutely prima donnas. And they like the attention. They open up their mouths. Hockey players are there to play hockey, and they want to do nothing more than to play hockey. So they're going to do everything. They're going to be so disciplined in staying in the bubble, so their season doesn't get ruined. So that
totally different culture.
My opinion, obviously, I think hockey players are the most disciplined players, and they're a different breed of athletes.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that the Tennessee Titans don't now spread it, and we start losing games because you really can't make up games with football. I mean, it's one game a week. You really it's a very tight schedule.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought I heard that they're going to get tested a couple times again, and then they might play on Monday or something. I don't know. I really can't find anything on that anymore, but they literally cannot miss a week.
Mm-hmm.
That would screw everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, like you said, it was a false positive or it's contained, and they can test them and prove that these players have it. That's it. Keep them away. Everybody else can play. Hopefully, but I guess we'll find out.
We don't know who has it on Tennessee, right?
No, they didn't say.
It would be devastating fantasy-wise if it's like Henry as one of those
Henry
players.
And Tannehill.
Tannehill.
God,
yeah, it's no. I don't hope COVID on anyone.
Yeah.
I'm hoping those positive cases get well soon. I'm really hoping for it to be a false positive. I think all sports should be in a bubble, just so you just reduce that risk in general. But going forward, we have last Thursday night game, the Dolphins and Fitzmagic. I'm kind of upset that that Fitz is just, first of all, Fitz is a different breed. That man is 37. And he just wants to go out and play football. He doesn't care if he gets hit. He's an animal. Love him. Love and respect him. Really wish he wasn't doing this where he's good because I just want to see Tua play.
Yeah, I know. He's holding it up, but he really wants to keep his job. He really wants to.
I just want. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, I'm just. It's funny. I've said it a couple times. The Dolphins are a couple tweaks away from being a legitimate team.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're really not far away from they're way above the disaster they were from 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're close, man. That's gonna be a fun team.
Definitely better than the Jets. But
yeah, absolutely.
But I in the beginning of the season I said I would give Fitz 4 weeks before Tua made a start. And now Miami is 1-2, and still rolling with the hot hand of Fitzmagic, who does not look bad.
But they're about to get steamrolled by the Seahawks, so that might put a bad taste in their coach's mouth.
Hopefully,
so we'll see.
Hopefully, I mean, you never know what you're gonna get with Fitz. Each week.
Yeah.
I mean, Fitz can be an absolute, pro quarterback. All pro quarterback. Or you can have him not hit a pass, and there's really no in between with him. He's either completely on it or just completely out of it. And
yep.
I hope he just stays out of it. I want to see Tua play. I really want to see Tua play.
And they have a running game now too. That rookie Myles Gaskin, that's a nice running back.
He is.
But no matter how Fitzpatrick can have the game of his life, he's not going to outpace Russell Wilson this week.
No. Seahawks win that 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
If I had to bet my life on one game, I'm betting the Seahawks over it.
That would arguably be it. Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason why the Seahawks should lose against Miami.
No, not at all.
Unless the entire Seahawks plane goes down.
If they're on the field, they're winning.
Yes, if they are on the field, they are winning. If they are playing in that game, the Seahawks are going to win. But we have probably not a very entertaining Thursday night game this week. We have the Jets hosting the Denver Broncos.
What a barn burner.
Do the Jets get their first W this Thursday, or do they start the season off 0-4?
So, this is a game. Terrible offenses. And honestly, terrible defenses. The Broncos are super banged up. The Jets are at home. That's it.
Means nothing, though, right now.
Means nothing. They're all banged up. The Broncos don't got their quarterback. I'm going with the Jets. The Jets are going to win this game.
Wow, hot take. So you're picking the Jets
Jets are
this
gonna
week.
win on Thursday.
You are picking the Jets.
I am picking the New York Jets.
Okay, so for the viewers who watch every week, Andrew is 2-1 on the year on Thursday night games, and I am 1-2. I am going with the Broncos, looking to tie this back up at 2-2. I'm picking the Broncos.
I think that Darnold hopefully will be better than whoever the Broncos stick at quarterback. Who I don't even know who's going to play quarterback right now. It's probably Jeff Driscoll. They don't have Cortland Sutton. Melvin Gordon is washed.
Hot take.
It's going to be an awful game. It's going to be an awful game. The game's going to end like 13. The game's either going to end 13-7 or like 35-31. It's going to be one or the other, no in between.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'm going to, and one of the other factors, I'm giving it to the Jets. It's a short week. The Jets are home. So I think they might just be a little more well-rested than Denver. But locking it in, I'm going with the Jets.
Wow, you have just like mind blown me. Like I was not expecting the New York Jets to come out of your mouth.
No, you know what? I wasn't expecting it until about 2 hours ago either.
I'm locking in Denver. I'm hoping I don't go 1-3 now on Thursday night games. But I'm locking in Denver. I just have no faith in Darnold, no matter what the situation is.
I completely agree. I think this is the only game that's even remotely winnable for them.
I can't, and I am actually rooting against them because I want them to get the first round pick. I want Trevor Lawrence. So like as big as a fan as I am, I want to see them lose. I want that first round pick. So it would be the Jet thing to do to actually win this Thursday.
That's so true.
So
that's so true.
So we're locked in. I have Denver. You have the Jets, and we will see. We will see next week if we are now even on the season again. But
fun Thursday night.
Comment down below who you think is going to win. We would love to see some interaction with you guys listening. But I think we're going to call it a cast. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. As always, like I said, if you are listening to this in any other program other than YouTube, so Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radiocast, all the stuff that we're on, leave a 5-star review. We will give you a shout out on the following week. And if you're watching on YouTube, like I said, just comment down below. Just, say hi, do your predictions. Who do you think is going to win Thursday? What do you think of the NFL right now? Who do you think is going to win the World Series? Put that down below. But yeah, remember to like the video, subscribe to the video, turn on those notifications. Binkz and Doodle Effect every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And hopefully next week we have a guest.
Hopefully.
I enjoy having other people with us, Andrew. I do say. Nothing wrong with just me and you. Definitely don't mind it at all. I definitely enjoy having a guest, though. It definitely gets more conversation going with, more people's minds instead of just ours. But
it's more garnish.
Exactly. But thank you guys, as always. And until next week, peace out.
Peace.
Yeah.